Hey guys, welcome. So today I'm going to give some first impressions on my first ever Benchmade knife. So I bought it from Blade HQ, and with every Benchmade purchase you get a shot mat for free. They'll throw that in there. That's pretty cool. They also give you a Blade HQ pouch. So that's cool, but the mat is very nice, the shot mat. Just nice to work on and stuff. I think that's pretty neat that they add that in there. So this is a knife that I've been looking at for quite some time, and I finally decided to buy it. That's the Benchmade Bugout 535 CPM S30V. So let's get it open and check it out. This comes in a nice Benchmade bag. Little warranty card. So here we go. As you can see, I have the base model, the blue Grivery. Make sure you're subscribed right now because I'll have a more in-depth review coming in the next few weeks where I test the knife and discuss what the purpose of it really is. But let's talk about this knife. So I always hear people saying that the Bugout feels cheap. It feels flimsy. I can definitely see where they're coming from, and that's because of mainly because the handles, they're made of Grivery, which is a glass reinforced nylon. So they're basically plastic scales, but they're not just like cheap plastic scales. They're very, very durable and very lightweight, and that kind of adds to the perception that it feels cheap, which is a human trait. People tend to just perceive that lighter weight things are cheaper, and that, you know, it's been proven by real world examples where a company will actually put weight into their product that's not necessary just to make it feel a little bit heavier, so people perceive it as more expensive. But that's beside the point, guys. We'll get into what the purpose of this knife is on a later date, but you know, looking at the Grivery here, there's no liners. It's just the handle scales. And if I push it, you know, I'm pushing it real hard, and they definitely flex. If I just kind of barely push them, they're not really flexing much. But if I really get down on it, they do flex. But, you know, I don't really see that as an issue. I mean, if you really, you know, abused this knife, stuck it into a log and torqued it, you probably snapped them. But, you know, why would you do that with this knife? You could throw the knife around. Don't throw your knife around, but you could throw your knife around, and you know, it just absorbs the shock. They're very durable. You're probably not ever going to have an issue with the Grivery scales, but it definitely feels very lightweight, very surprisingly lightweight. Actually, I knew it was going to be lightweight, but when I got it, I'm like, wow, like it feels really, really light. So we can do a little scale here. And it's at 1.89 ounces. About 1.9 ounces is what you're looking at. So something people really like about the knife is the deep carry pocket clip. As you can see there, it'll go all the way up. I mean, the knife is basically going to disappear in your pocket. And it's a nice small pocket clip too, but it's very snug. So let's get into a size comparison real quick. I'm actually just going to show it against a Sharpie because a lot of times people show a knife that you don't have as a size comparison. So here's a Sharpie. Everyone has a Sharpie. Open. That's it next to a Sharpie, so it's actually a decent size. I think the size is pretty nice. It's the action of the knife. You get dual thumb studs either side, and the knife just flicks out super easy without really much effort at all. You don't need to wrist flick. You just need to, you know, use your thumb. So that's really nice. It feels great. I know some actions can feel different, but this one feels really nice. And then with the axis lock here, you pull it back. Mine's not quite drop shut, but little flick, and it closes up. So opening, very easy, and closing is very easy too. And it's a very fidgety knife, which actually is good because that means it's very easy to open and close one-handed. That's something I really like. And the good thing about something like an axis lock is, you know, when you're closing it, your fingers are never in the way of the blade. I really like that. It's just a lot safer to have a lock where you can close it without worrying about your fingers getting getting in the way of the blade. So I really do like the axis lock already. Let's get into the blade. Blade steel is S30V. You can see right there. It's marked, and it's got a nice satin finish on it. You can get these, again, like I said, it's the base model. It's blue, and I got blue because I do like the color blue, and I don't really have any other blue knives, but the main, reasoning behind that is if you drop it out in the woods or in the grass, you can see it. It'll stick out to you, and you can go pick it up. If it's green with the black coating on it, good luck finding it in the grass. They can come with coatings. This is just a satin finish, and the reason I like that is because I do plan to use this a bit for food, cutting up food here and there, and I don't want a coating. I don't want a coating on my knife touching all the food and stuff. So I'd rather just have the bare metal, like a satin finish like that. That's nice. I do like the look a lot too of just plain blades like that. Like I said, it's S30V. It's a good steel. The thing about S30V, it's been around for a little bit now. People are moving on to different steels. Steel technology is advancing. CPM S30V is still a really good steel. It's corrosion resistant. It's decently tough, and has great edge retention. It still is very good. I mean, at the price point it is at, we'll get into in a minute. But S30V is still a good steel. Don't think it's not a good steel. If people say it's not, it's still a really good steel. You got a drop point, right? Goes down. It's a nice drop point. I like the blade shape, and it's super thin. Right? It's got a flat grind to a high saber all the way up, and that's gonna make slicing very, very nice. Even as it gets dull, it's still gonna slice really well. But this is definitely going to be a slicer, and a very, very good cutting tool. So sharpness wise, here's lined paper. Okay, it's pretty sharp. Lined paper is a lot harder to cut than just standard printer paper that's usually tested. It's pretty solid, the sharpness. I think it is. It's pretty nice. Sharpest knife I've ever had out of the box? No. I think cold steel is going to take sharpest knives out of the box. Cold steel just always sends a sharp knife no matter what. It's very sharp. Definitely good. Price point wise, this is where this knife loses a lot of people now. When the knife first came out, I think the MSRP was around $110, which is not a bad deal. I mean, this knife at around $100 is a really good deal. The price of everything have gone up. I know Benchmade have raised their prices up, over the last few years, but everything has gone up. If you've just been paying attention to any knives, knives from Spyderco, K-Bar, you name it, everything is going up. So, Benchmade's raising their prices, but so is everybody else. So is the entire market. But Benchmade raised their price, I think, a lot higher than other people. The MSRP right now of this knife is $180. That's a lot. Like, $180 can get you a lot of knife. And this still is a good knife, but just with the grivery, that it can't be that much of an expensive material to use, right? There's no liners or anything. It's just, you get the blade, and then, you get your axis lock, and you get the handle scales. Like, there's not too much to the knife. $180 is a lot, and it might be a little bit about the name too. The Bugout is become a notorious knife, and maybe they know people will be willing to buy it at even that price. But MSRP is $180, but that doesn't mean that you're going to pay $180. For example, on Blade HQ right now, this knife is $160. So, you can buy it. You can buy this knife for $160 from Blade HQ and get the mat too. And if you value the mat at like $10, it's not too bad of a deal if you really want the knife. But yeah, that's that's what I have to that's what I have to say about this basically. It's just it's really fun to open and close, man. This is a good fidget knife, like really good. It feels super solid. There's no blade play. There's no blade play whatsoever. It's very solid. I could sit here all day and do this. This is okay. All right. Before I just keep flicking it into eternity. I'm going to just say that's my first impressions on the knife. I'm actually going to go use this a bit now. Make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss the full review of this knife. And that will be coming in the next few weeks. So definitely subscribe. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Like the video, and goodbye.